Have you ever felt that life is a constant battle? That for every step you take forward, the universe pushes you 2 steps back, and at the end of the day, all you're left with is profound physical and mental exhaustion? It's not your fault. We were all taught that success requires suffering, that you have to fight tooth and nail. But exactly a century ago, Florence Scovel Shinn revealed that we were playing by the wrong rules. In her masterpiece, she explains that life isn't a battle, it's a game of give and take. And when you stop fighting against the current and learn to play the game, the things you chase after start chasing you. Get comfortable, take a deep breath, and listen to the first chapter of the game of life. Let these words reprogram your weary mind.
Chapter 1. The Game of Existence. Most souls view life as a battle. However, it isn't. Life is a game. It's a sacred game that cannot be played successfully without knowledge of spiritual laws. Both the Old and New Testaments present its rules with astonishing clarity. Jesus Christ taught us that this great game is based on the art of giving and receiving. Whatever a man sows, that he will also reap. This means that any energy a human being emits, whether through words or actions, will inevitably return to them. What you give out will be given back to you. If you sow hatred, you will receive hatred. If you sow love, love will return to you. If you criticize, you will be criticized. If you lie, you will be deceived.
Let's pause here briefly. This powerful statement from Florence invites us to reflect on how energy operates in our daily lives, regardless of our particular beliefs. It's the law of the mirror. And this happens because life operates under an unbreakable law of cause and effect. A reality you can interpret from 3 different perspectives, depending on what resonates most with your heart. First, under the concept of the echo of the universe, where energy doesn't discriminate and functions like a perfect mirror. If you shout a cry of deceit into the void of existence, the universe doesn't judge you. It simply returns the same distorted frequency. Life doesn't punish you, it only reflects you. Second, as a quantum algorithm, for those seeking a more logical explanation. Just as a social network shows you more than you look at, or an artificial intelligence shows you more than you consume, the quantum matrix in which we live returns the exact code you input into it. If you sow dishonesty in the system reprograms itself to bring you deception. And third, through the field of unified consciousness. The idea that beyond any religion, we are all part of the same invisible fabric. Harming another with a lie is literally harming yourself, because in universal energy, there is no separation between what you give and what you receive. Choose the vision that resonates most with you, but always remember the golden rule. The game of life will always give back what you put into it. Let's return to the author's exact words.
We are also taught that the faculty of imagination plays a primary role on this chessboard of existence. Guard your heart, your imagination, with the utmost diligence, for out of it flow the springs of life. Proverbs 4:23. This reveals to us that what a person conjures in their mind, sooner or later materializes in their external reality. I knew of a man who lived in constant fear of contracting a very strange and difficult to acquire disease. She visualized it so continuously and read so much about it that finally it manifested in her own body. She died a victim of a distorted imagination. Therefore, to masterfully play the game of life, we must cultivate our capacity to imagine. A being whose mind has been trained to visualize only good attracts into their reality every noble desire of their soul. Health, abundance, love, true friendships, and the perfect expression of their being. Imagination has been called the scissors of the mind. Day after day, It sculpts and trims the images that a person contemplates within themselves, and sooner or later, they come face to face with their own creations in the tangible world. To successfully train the imagination, it is vital to understand the workings of our own psyche. As the Greek sages said, know thyself. The three spaces of the mind. There are three departments in our mind: the subconscious, the conscious, and the superconscious. The subconscious. A force without direction. The subconscious is pure energy, absolute power without its own direction. It is similar to steam or electricity. It faithfully executes what it is commanded and lacks the power of induction. Everything that a human being feels deeply or imagines clearly is recorded in this subconscious ocean. And it is carried out down to the smallest detail. Recall the story of a woman who, as a child, used to play at being a widow. She would dress in black robes and a long dark veil. People thought it was a clever and amusing game. When she grew up, she married a man she loved deeply. Soon after, he died, and she wore mourning clothes and a heavy veil for many years. The image of herself as a widow had taken root in her subconscious and, in due course, unfolded on the physical plane, regardless of the pain it would cause. The conscious mind, the earthly mind. The conscious mind has been called the mortal or carnal mind. It is the purely human mind, the one that observes life only as it appears to be. It contemplates death, disaster, disease, scarcity, and limitations of all kinds, then imprints these fears on the subconscious, the superconscious, the divine design. The superconscious is the mind of God that dwells within every human being. It is the realm of perfect ideas. Within it resides the perfect archetype of which Plato spoke, the divine design, for there is a sacred and unique purpose for every soul. There is a place you are destined to occupy that no one else can fill. There is something you must do that no one else can accomplish. The perfect image of this mission shines in your superconscious. Often it appears in the conscious mind as an unattainable ideal, as something too beautiful to be true. In reality, it is your true destiny shimmering from the infinite intelligence that dwells within you, the law of substitution and intuition. Many people, by ignoring their true path, strive to achieve things and situations that do not belong to them, and which would only bring them frustration if they were to attain them. A woman once asked me to speak the word so she could marry a man she was deeply in love with. I replied that this would violate a spiritual law, but that I would speak for the right man, the divine choice, the one who belonged to her by sacred right. And I added, if he is the chosen one, you cannot lose him. If he is not, you will receive someone of equal worth. Time passed, and that friendship did not flourish. One night she called me and said, "You know, for the past week he hasn't seemed so wonderful to me anymore." Soon she met another man who fell instantly in love with her and confessed that she was his ultimate ideal. In fact, he spoke the exact words she had always longed to hear from the first man. This is how the law of substitution works. A correct idea replaced a wrong one, so there was no loss or sacrifice. Jesus Christ reminded us, "Seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you," and affirmed that this kingdom resides within us. The kingdom is the realm of perfect ideas, the divine blueprint. Our words are the architects of this destiny. By your words, you will be justified, and by your words, you will be condemned. Thousands of souls have brought disaster into their lives through idle words. A woman mired in scarcity confessed to me that she used to have a beautiful home and abundance. Upon further inquiry, we discovered that, weary of domestic responsibilities, she constantly repeated, "I'm fed up with all this. I wish I could live in a trunk." And she concluded sadly, "Today, my reality is that trunk." She had confined herself through her own decree. The subconscious lacks a sense of humor. Light-hearted jokes often turn into bitter experiences. The multiplication of good. Fortunately, the law works both ways, and a landscape of lack can be transformed into a symphony of abundance. On a hot summer day, a woman came to me exhausted and discouraged, seeking a prosperity treatment. She confessed that she possessed only $8 in the world. I said, "Excellent. We will bless these $8 and multiply them, just as Jesus Christ multiplied the loaves and fishes." She asked me what she should do next, to which I replied, "Follow your intuition. Do you feel an inner prompting to do something or go somewhere?" Intuition is the soul's infallible guide. She said, "I don't know, I feel the urge to return home, but I only have enough money for the trip." Her home was in a distant city and was a place of limitations. The logical mind would have said, "Stay in the big city, find a job, and earn money." But I instructed her, "Return home. Never disobey a hunch." And I decreed for her, "Infinite Spirit, open the way for great abundance for this soul. She is an irresistible magnet for all that is rightfully hers by divine right." Upon arriving at her destination, she providentially reunited with an old family friend. Through him, she miraculously received thousands of dollars. There is always abundance on the path of humankind, but it only manifests through, whether through desire, faith, or the spoken word. We must take the first step. Ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and the door will be opened to you. Matthew 7:7.
Florence Scovel Shinn reminds us that to successfully play the game of life, we must master the art of directing our desires. She refers to a well-known ancient universal principle: ask and it will be given to you. In modern terms, this is the law of clear intention. The universe, or the energy that surrounds us, does not respond to vague desires or hidden fears. When you define with absolute clarity what you want, that is asking, and act with the certainty that it is on its way, the quantum field reorganizes itself to open doors for you. However, the greatest enemy of this process is fear. Ancient texts questioned, "Why are you afraid?" And the answer is a vital psychological lesson for anyone suffering from chronic exhaustion today. The storms in your life, whether debt, stress, or fatigue, are first calmed from within. If you react with panic to difficulties, you only fuel the storm. But if you remain calm, your subconscious mind regains control, and external circumstances completely subside.
Dissolving fear. Nothing stands between humanity and its highest ideals except doubt and fear. When human beings learn to desire without worry, every longing is instantly fulfilled. Fear is the only real enemy. Fear of scarcity, of failure, of illness, of loss. Why are you afraid, you of little faith? Matthew 8:26. We must replace fear with faith, for fear is nothing more than inverted faith. It is faith placed in evil instead of good. The purpose of the game of life is to clearly envision the good and erase all traces of evil from the mind. A highly successful man confided in me that he banished all fear from his being by reading a simple sign that said in large letters, "Why worry? It probably will never happen." These words were imprinted on his subconscious, and today he lives with the firm conviction that only good can come into his life. The subconscious is our most faithful servant, but we must be meticulous in giving it our orders. You have a silent listener at your side at every moment. Every thought, Every word is recorded in it with astonishing fidelity, like a song recorded on a sensitive disc. If the performer coughs or hesitates, the error is recorded. Therefore, let us break the old distorted records of our subconscious today, those memories of pain and limitation that we no longer wish to hold on to, and begin to record beautiful and perfect melodies. Speak these words with strength, power, and deep conviction. Now I dissolve and demolish, through my spoken word, every false record of my subconscious. They will return to the dustbin of their original nothingness, for they were born from my own vain imaginings. Now I record my perfect records through the Christ within me, records of health, wealth, love, and the most perfect expression of my being. This is the perfect quadrant of life. The game is complete.
Thank you for joining me on this journey of renewal. If you felt that life was a heavy struggle, I hope these words have reminded you that you have the power to change the rules of the game today. In the next video, we will analyze Chapter 2, the Law of Prosperity and how to unlock financial abundance without dying in the attempt. Subscribe to Infinite Abundance so you don't miss it. Give me a like if this content brought peace to your day, and I'll see you in the next game.